Hi everybody, it's Louisa here, and if you've seen in the photos, I have made a super chunky mini. I don't know what is considered a mini anymore when we're making them so big. I'm guessing minis would be any album smaller than a 12 by 12. So this is for a swap that I'm in with Irina, who is the Passion for Craft on YouTube. I'll post a link down below for that. We agreed on doing a swap. She's actually going to make something different for me. And I'm excited. I can't wait to see what she creates. And we agreed that I would make her a mini album. Although she was thinking of junk journal. But I really don't get into junk journals that much. So I thought maybe a mini album would be closest to that. And then she... because, you know, we always ask when we do swaps what kind of theme or what kind of color scheme we'd like. So she says she likes shabby chic, she likes vintage, she likes steampunk. And then she also likes like olive green and the shabby chic colors and browns. So I decided to mix it all together, which I've done before in the past, and do a shabby vintage steampunk mini album. Yes. Mix it all up, and I had the perfect pad for that. When she, you know, wrote down what she liked, I immediately remembered this, which I had recently got from Joann's, and it's called Preserved Paper from DCWV. So I made a serious dent in this. I've never gone through a pad like this. This was like twice as thick. There's 36 sheets in here. I cut through a lot, and there are some scraps. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut out of most of this. Probably not everything, because I'm trying to keep it lightweight. It's going to a US address, and then from there it's going to go to Japan, so I can't send too much stuff. But I'm thinking of cutting down some of the papers into 6x6 and sending those along with some other things so that she can add to this, like matte photos and stuff, and if she wants to create something separately, or maybe she wants to make a junk journal with what's left in here to coordinate. So I am in love with how this came out. Again, vintage, shabby, and steampunk. And I'm only saying steampunk because I did add some gears in here. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's steampunk, but I like to call anything that has gears steampunk. When I created this, it's been a while since I had done a mini, so I kind of got a little tense and was like, oh, how do I make a, oops, there's a gear right here. How do I do a mini again? Because it's been so long that I made one. But I remembered, and I kind of did the hidden hinge method. And I did not record myself doing this because I knew this was going to be a long process, because I hadn't done this in so long. I don't make that many of these. It's something that it took me, I want to say, about 5 days, not straight, just off and on for 5 days to create this from beginning to end. And I did it in layers. Usually I kind of do it differently, but I did it in layers. First I made the skeleton of this mini. I knew I wanted it to be chunky because I wanted to use a lot of the paper, and I wanted to use a lot of what you're going to see that's on this. Plus I wanted her to have many places to journal and to add photos if she wanted to. Of course, she could do whatever she wants with this once she gets this. But so it's pretty chunky. Is this the right way? Yeah. It is 6 inches tall this way by 8 inches lengthwise, and then it is 4 inches, oops, sorry, thick right here. And I really try to keep it so that all of this would be as even as possible and not flare out too much, because that's something that a lot of us do. We fill it up so much and then it won't, you know, it looks like this instead of like that. And I think I managed to do it. Of course, once you undo this, it kind of opens up a little bit, but I did put a closure. So yeah, it's pretty thick. I hope that's okay. I know it's going to be quite a piece to send. So I'm going to try to keep whatever I send to a minimum. Alright, so I showed you the paper. One of the other things that I wanted to use with this, and I didn't buy it to go with that at first, but then I remembered I had it. And this is something new at Joann's and from Tim Holtz. It's they're called Layers Botanical. So I used quite a bit of this, and they give you a lot. Let's see what it says in there. 83 pieces. And they're just die cuts, you know, vintage looking die cuts with birds, flowers, and butterflies, and some little cards here. So I'm actually going to send the rest of this to go with the paper so she can use it too. Okay, sorry, my phone keeps going off. And then I just used some other things from my stash. I put up everything I had out because this desk hadn't seen the light the whole time that I was working on this. So I did put everything away except for my punches. So I did use a couple of punches. And I think I left out some of the dies too. So I did use my favorite Martha Stewart bordered die. This one here that's like a lace. And then I also used this Fiskars die, bordered die also. And I mean not dies, I'm sorry, punches. And then I also used, let's see, I think I used one of these dies that I recently got from Tuesday Morning. It is the Decorative Labels 34. And I think I used the largest one out of there because I wanted to test it out. It was the first time that I used it. I also used this Tim Holtz Movers and Shapers watch, like a pocket watch die. And something else. Hold on. There's a whole bunch of things that I didn't get to use, but I did use this Baroque die. It's a big die, and then I used, for all the paper gears, they're actually on thin chipboard. I used this gear die. There's 3 gears on here, and that is Gadget Gears, also from Tim Holtz. So I think that's all the dies that I used. I can put this away. The assortment of flowers are from Michaels. I think these are Prima, maybe Recollections. I know there's some Recollections here in Michaels. Well, Michaels is Recollections, but the $1.50 spot flowers. The brown and the olive green and the pink, those are from Wild Orchid Crafts. And what else? That's Michaels. So you'll see the variety of the similar flowers. And I'm not sure where this is from. I think this is also Recollections. And then you'll see these things here. Those are from Hobby Lobby. And they're from the wedding section. And then these brown ones are from Natasha's Scrapbook Corner. So you'll see an assortment of things. I only used this in the front because I didn't have any more. I only had the 4. I did cut out the butterflies that are in that paper collection, and I spread them out through the album. And then I did use metal gears, and they're small, so you have to, you know, really kind of look, and I'll get closer as we go. Alright, so let me try to do this. Like so. I know I'm going to hit this, so I do apologize in advance. I will be hitting this camera. So for my spine, although I did use paper and cover it up, I decided to add some more softness by putting in 2 rows plus a row on the sides here, the front and back, of this rosette trim that I had purchased a while ago through Alibaba. I think that's what it was. But it's actually wider, so I had it, as I glued it down, I kind of scrunched it up so it wouldn't pass the edges on the top and the bottom. So I just did that. I did put a hole in here with a eyelet to hang this. I just created a quick dangle here, and I previously made this a while back, so it's just a yarn tassel with bling and a bow and a this might be a Natasha Scrapbook Corner thing, if I'm not mistaken. So that's on its own chain, and then this actually came from Joann's. It comes just as you see it. It's a planner charm. So I think it is Webster's Pages planner charm. And then I tied on here with some brown seam binding, bringing in some of the brown. This key that is from Michael's, but Natasha just gave to me yesterday in our meetup. Of course, by the time that you see this video, it probably would be a few weeks from that date. So, and then it is on a lobster clasp, so you can remove this if she wanted to. So here's my back. Now the back, I didn't cover this. This goes all the way around, and I'm using this really pretty peach ribbon that is from Hobby Lobby. Nice wide ribbon, and it goes all the way around. And then I layered it with this pretty it's a trim. It's like an applique trim, I guess. I don't know. And you can cut all these little flowers up, but I just wanted to layer it over. And I left all these like leaves loose. Everything else, like the flowers, are glued down, but the leaves are nice and loose just for some flow. You can see some of the paper in the background. Here again, I'm bringing in the brown with the wood grain, and then I'm bringing in the Shabby Chic colors because it already has that in there. That's why I love that paper pad. It has everything mixed together. I did gesso lightly. I didn't go too crazy, but I did gesso everything, and gesso is it's like a medium that some crafters use. I use it like you would use paint to whitewash things. I like the gesso because it's thicker and it just tones things down and it makes it more shabby. So I just use a sponge dauber to apply that. And then back to the front, you'll see it, the ribbon and that trim runs through. You don't see it here anymore, but you still see some of it over here, the ribbon and the applique trim. And then I made it into a bow and a closure. I just love this. I love it. So I have a few colors of this, and it's nice and soft. Alright, so I had cut my gears with a white chipboard. Let me see if I can pull that out. I was lucky to find this at Tuesday morning, and it's kind of, sorry, but it's from Little Bee. And I picked up as many as I could. It was only like $1.99, I think. Or maybe $2.99. But it has 3 different chipboards, and they're all different thicknesses and colors. So I used the white one that's in here. It's like a super thick cardstock. And I use the white one for the gears. And what I usually do, and I've showed this in several start to finishes, I would take the size of chipboard or whatever that will fit through the cutter and glue down my paper that I want to use. I layer paper on all these gears, and then I cut it. And then I just use the pieces. They're already papered. So I cut it several times with different papers, and there was a green one and a like a print one, like text on there, and there's one that's it's hiding now because you know I end up cutting covering it all. So there's 1, 2, 3, and I think there's one back here, and there's one here under the word forever. This forever is a chipboard or a wood veneer. No, it's chipboard from Michael's or Recollections, but it's from Michael's. You get 3. So I actually took my gold paint marker and went over that. Super easy. And then I just layered everything. Now when I say I started this in layers, I created this whole thing in layers. I did my base, the scrapbook, not the scrapbook, the book itself with the pages, and then I covered with any pockets and flip outs or whatever that I wanted to do. Then I went in with my soft pieces like fabric or trims and stuff that I wanted to put in there. And then I added the gears, and then I went back and added the flowers. And then I added the metal gears in between everything, and you know, all the other extras. So I had to do it in layers, and I did all the pages at one time. Like I would put down my pockets and flip outs, all, you know, do every single page. Then I would lay down my trims on all the pages, and then I would do all the flowers in all the pages. I wouldn't just do one page, you know, finish it completely, another page. I just kind of did it as sets. I hope that makes sense. And again, that's why I didn't record it, because I really wasn't sure what each other step was going to consist of. It would have taken a lot of memory on my thing, a lot of time, a lot of stopping and going. I probably would have forgot to hit record at one point, and it wasn't going to be a good video. I don't intend on making another one of these anytime soon. So I do have, though, somewhere in my vast collection of videos on YouTube, I do have somewhere a start to finish of a mini or two. But anyway, back to what we're talking here. So I laid down my binding first, this, and then the trim. Then I laid down these gears in a place where I wanted them to still peek through. I knew my flowers were going to be here. I try not to use super chunky flowers because when you open this up, all this stuff will get in the way when you lay it flat on the table. So I try to keep it as flat as I could, but you know, I love layering things and, you know, adding more and more. So it's kind of hard to do, but I sort of started this way, you know, with the gears in this kind of a shape, and then I went with the big flower in the middle first, which already had some glitter on there, which was really nice. And then I just layered around and tucked in more flowers, metal gears, sprays, and here's one of the butterfly cutouts from the paper collection. I put that one there and one over here, and then I did another little gear right here just to bring out a little something that way for movement, and gessoed everything. Like I said, all the edges got gessoed, and then again, I didn't do it too heavily, but I did try to bring out so you could see that there's a gear there, and you can see a little more of the word. So that's how I did that. That's the front. And here, I love how this looks with the trims coming out. On every single page, I wanted to make sure that my trims were hanging over. I did make the pages to be shorter on the side and up here because I wanted things to protrude. And you could see it really doesn't protrude that much here. And I knew I was going to be putting a binding. So here, it doesn't protrude that much. But you could still see that all this stuff is kind of hanging off the pages. Alright, so we're just going to... Oh, and I did fishtail cut my ribbon. I love this ribbon. Sorry, I know I'm going to keep hitting this, and I do apologize. Let me lift it up because I think I'm going to have to do a different angle once I open this. Okay, it's so pretty. So, you will have to scoot your charm over and out to pull this open. And let's see, hopefully that's okay there. Here is my first page. This is the cover page, and I decided to make a couple of little pockets with some pieces of the paper, and I did use that punch, one of the border punches that I showed you, to do that. So they're just layered, and just a thin glue on those edges there. There's a little collection of metal gears down here, and then over here just a tiny little grouping of flowers and some more of the gears, and then a couple of the sprays, and there's one more gear under there. So bringing in all the colors, the brown, the olive green, the white, and then a little bit of pink. And then what I tucked inside, these are the pieces that came out of this pack. So I did throw them in as is. Actually, this one is not, but these two, sorry, that's not either. This one is. You see how good that is? These are the cutouts. And then you're also going to get in there 3 more cutouts. And here's the background paper. So there's actually a couple layers here. I did wrap my paper around the thicker chipboard that's in that pad, the black one. So it made it even thicker. And then I layered some of that green olive, and then this paper, which is so pretty. So what I did was I cut out of the paper collection some mats. They're just in, you know, sort of different sizes that I didn't really measure. I was using the scraps that I had, but she can add pictures to this, and if she wants to journal, whatever she wants to do. They're just pretty paper. And then this, the pad has a lot of postcard cutouts and things like that. So see, that's one of the patterns. So that would be in this first pocket, and then in the second pocket, some more of the cutouts that came with that paper. Little postcard that goes in that second pocket. This little thing here, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but it's another cutout. And then the piece that came out of that ephemera pack. It just goes right there. So, and then I really wanted to make sure I added like flip ups and flip throughs or whatever they're called, and I wanted to use some of my magnets. So as you can see, because this is so chunky, it doesn't really lay flat but it's not too bad, like right here in this area. So here, I love this page. I love all the pages actually. This pocket, actually, if I didn't mention it already, each page is a pocket with a mat that she can pull out. I'll show you this one. And add a photo, do some journaling, and she can mat it again with some more paper because I'm going to be sending her some from the collection, and it just slips in there. And I wanted it to show through so that you know that there's something there that you want to pull out. Let me drink some water. I've been talking too much today. So I used that wood grain paper again to bring in the brown. I've been trying to use up these little metal pieces. I think it's Tim Holtz that I had in my stash. I really don't use too much metal like I used to, so I wanted to use them up. They have little holes on the side, so they're kind of like labels. So I put these little pieces here. I put them all away. But they're just gold pieces. This says dream as if you'll live forever. Here's another one of the butterflies from the cutouts, and then I glued on some pretty trim here. I think it's from Hobby Lobby. I put a little doily here. This is a flap. And then a metal bow and a metal gear, and then a Michael's flower. It looks like this with the gold on it. I just gessoed. Of course, I gessoed everything. In between each one of these pages, I put some tape down because I wasn't liking the black showing, because I used black for everything. So at least you don't see that much black. So this flap is secured with a magnet. It's a really strong magnet. I don't know where I got it from. I think it was Tuesday morning. So you open that flap, then you bring this flap down, and you got 3 spots for photos and journaling and whatnot. And this has some pretty flowers. Love how that came out. Love that I was able to use my magnets. And sorry that I keep shaking this. It's not gonna stop. So over here we just have, look this up, one pocket here that I use the other punch with. And here I started with some trim, and this is from Hobby Lobby, and then I put another little trim here. It's actually a Martha Stewart trim. Hopefully you could see that. And this is also a Martha Stewart trim, and on top of each flower I put a small gear and a flat back pearl. And then here's another one of those cutout butterflies, and inside of this one it'll expose all that pretty gold foiled paper. There's going to be a cutout. You see, that's the back of that. A cutout, or I cut out, and I did corner some of the edges with my corner chomper. That's also a cutout. Really cool that it came with all these cutouts. Just got to be careful putting it back in. Then I cut this one out, and then a cutout again, and one more of those ephemera pieces from that pack, just tucked right there. Alright, so then here we have another pull out in that side pocket there. So let me get that back in. I don't think I'm going to pull them all out because it's just going to make this video even longer. So you get the idea. Each one of these pages is a pocket on the side with a pull out. Alright, so on this page we have, well, I decided to put my flip thing on one side and leave this open so that I can decorate instead of trying to decorate on the flip pages. And I put some more of this trim that I use in the front, just straight down, let things hang off like you see here. I cut one of my chipboard gears in half. So I put one up here, one over here, and then put my flowers down. Just 3 flowers, and that was done. That was, you know, more than enough. So here I made a couple of flip pages, just 2 flip pages using the pretty paper. The way I did this actually is I had my paper strips. I punched my bottom with that one punch, and I folded over the paper because the paper is actually that polka dot. So that made me a border. I didn't have to cut out a separate piece. It just is a folded over border, folded over paper that I had punched the border, and I did that to both pages. And then I folded over the bottom, and I also had punched it. So first off, there's a metal butterfly with another one of those pieces there, and down here another metal piece from Tim Holtz says, "Know in your heart you are loved." And then when you flip this open, there's no magnet. When you flip it open, you will see the other side that I had folded under with the scallop edge, so it's pretty. And then I just matted some paper, and then same thing with this one, same thing, and I left this like this, so she can mat this or just add a photo straight on or whatever. Alright, so then the next page, you do have to kind of hold that when you flip it. I didn't put magnets in those flips there. So on this page here, another couple of pockets, simple straight cut. Sorry. Love this paper because it had that butterfly and the postcards and, you know, the writing and everything. So I made an arrangement here. I put a little bit of trim on the edge. Someone gave me this. They gave me this trim in several colors, but that was like years ago. So I made my arrangements, and this particular flower actually had a round center. It was kind of high, and I took it out and put this bling from Natasha Scrapbook Corner. A couple more flowers here. These are foam flowers that I put in. These sprays are from Natasha Scrapbook Corner also, and I will link her shop down below. And then I just tucked in the chipboard gears that I cut, the metal gears. I added another butterfly, and I gessoed everything. And then in my 2 pockets, in this first one, these pieces here are from that ephemera pack, so she could use these. I just wanted a little extra something and something to, you know, actually pull out and look at. And some more of these cutouts from the paper, and then these that I cut out from the paper collection. So you can see 1, 2, and using that green again. And, you know, it's not my favorite color, but when you mix it up with other things, I don't mind it. I like it. I like when it's mixed, but not like just an all olive green project. So then we just tuck these, and you kind of, you know, want to move them around, stagger them so you can see everything. And I put the flower in first, and then put this one on top, so everything you could see. Alright, and then over here, I love this page. I love them all. So this is another flip out. It flips to the left. What I did here, I just put, there is some beaded trim on this side here. I wanted to use a little bit of beaded trim somewhere. It's only in this page, but it's there with the pull out on the side. I'm not going to take it all the way out. And then some pink trim. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe someone gave it to me, I think. I don't know. And then we have another metal piece here that says, "Encourage your hopes, not your fears," with some more halfback pearls. These butterflies, was there any more in here that I didn't mention? No, this is the first time you see it. So this comes from that ephemera pack. Wanted to use some, and then I put a pen nib from Tim Holtz as the body. Over here, this little door knocker thing, I don't know where it came from, but there was a pack of a few of them. I just hot glued it, and this page is held with a magnet, and you can actually pull this open and use it like a little door handle. And then you just see that. Another one of those butterflies, and you can journal and add pictures. So it looks like that. So you want to kind of hold that when you flip the page. So over here, sorry, I did a little something different with my pocket. I layered my paper. Well, no, first I cut a slit in my paper, but I cut it so that, I don't know if you could see here, I cut a chunk of paper out, so it made a slit. And it's just a small little slit to put a few little pieces in there. I'll just go ahead and show you. This is from the ephemera pack. These are cutouts from the paper collection. Really cool cutouts from that paper collection. And look at that one. And then this one. And so I slid it, and then I just put down the whole paper instead of making an extra pocket. Let's see. Something like that. It's upside down. Alright, and then I trimmed that little pocket with some more of that trim. And over here there's some Chinese braid and some very pale peach ruffle trim up here. And then we have another little arrangement here with some metal gears, a metal butterfly, and the assorted flowers. And then these little guys are also from Natasha Scrapbook Corner. And on this side, what I did was there's just 3 flowers, another ephemera piece from that little pack I keep mentioning, and also the bird is from there. And I want it to look like the bird is sitting on the bouquet. And the paper already has a butterfly. I just layered another one from the paper collection on top of that for dimension. Another Tim Holtz metal piece that says enjoy the journey, and that completes that page. Now we move over here. One of my favorite out of all that I love pages. I love this one so much, and I have to share with you. Maybe I'll just, let me see if I can use this piece. Will this one work? Oh, let me try one of these. Okay. This is a place where you can just tuck in a photo. As you can see, it's not glued back there. So you can tuck in a small picture or maybe a round picture. Nothing is glued like to there even. Okay, just wanted to show you that. Okay, and then you can see this is where I use that Baroque die, and this is also on the chipboard, the white chipboard. Cut the paper with the chipboard together, and then edged my edges with the gold paint pen. I also edged, here is that pocket watch. I also edged that, and I edged so that that looks like metal, and you know, this looks different. Another metal bow. There were some pieces out of the paper which I just fussy cut the flowers. So there's one, you know, kind of peeking out here, and there's one back here, and then the gears which I cut out of that flower paper too. And I did edge a little bit on the gears with the gold paint pen. Hold on, this should be out. Okay. This little spray here, really pretty. That comes from the box of Recollection Flowers. I don't have it out, but it was all like peach colored flowers. And they only had 2 different types of sprays in that. And I wish that they would just have a box of just these. Let's see if you can see that there. There's another gear here, and another metal piece says Capture Life's Moments, if I didn't mention that. Behind everything, I did a strip that I had cut with the Martha Stewart punch, border punch on both sides, just to do a little something back there. And again, another pull out. Okay. Now this page here, I kind of framed it with the peach pearl trim. I put on this side this trim here, which I think it's Hobby Lobby. Put another cutout butterfly. This one is one big pocket, but it's kind of short, that I had also punched the edge. And then I just put in these pieces here. There is another ephemera piece, a postcard cutout, and then I just cut out some paper from the collection. And you kind of use the butterfly to hold things down too. And then this is just added decor, but you can also, you know, write on here or put a little photo. I just kind of like the bird kind of peeking out from behind this. This is an old Michaels typewriter, you know, metal piece, like from the $1.50 spot. And then my arrangement here with some more gears. There's the chipboard gear underneath, but it's also peeking up here. It's one big one. Some more of those sprays and more of those foam flowers. Over here, this is quite a simple page, but it is a flip out kind of page. The butterfly, and this is another piece from the ephemera pack. And then you see behind this is a little bit of trim and a pen nib from Tim Holtz, and this one has a magnet as well. On the edge, I put some ruffled trim, and then I put some really thin trim here, and on each point of that I put a little shiny it's like a crystal, but it's not real crystal. So this will flip out to reveal where the other butterfly is that's covering that magnet there. And I used 3 different papers to mat on this one. Okay, really simple on that one. And then we go over here again. This is the other side of that paper, or that insert. Some more of that trim going down this side, and then I put a little piece over here, added my chipboard gears, layered this paper so you can journal on it or add a photo, put a metal butterfly with a Natasha Scrapbook Corner heart, and a small little arrangement of a couple of flowers. I think there's another one tucked in there, some more metal gears and a little bit more of that, and a piece of doily there. On this side, it's just another flat matte page where you just can stick a photo. And again, I should leave out stuff, you know. I don't have anything to tuck back there, so I'm going to use this. This is open back here, so you can slide a photo. It goes pretty far, as you can see. See that? But you could just add a little photo there. And this one's pretty simple. A little trim, that matte, these 2 pieces are from that ephemera pack. This little metal piece here is actually from Tammy, SS Crafter 1. We did a swap a while ago, and in that swap, she added some metal pieces that are already frontaged for me. So I did use that, and then I put a bling on top, and this is from Natasha Scrapbook Corner. Another metal piece, The Journey Awakens the Soul. Over here, that pale peachy trim with some pearls from Hobby Lobby. And then this one conceals that. So you almost can't see it because of the trims on this one. It's double trim. And then this side here, you could see the rest of that trim, some more of the Chinese braid. So over here, I moved the flip out thing on the side also so that I can make this little cute arrangement. It's just 3 of the flowers with a bow. Love how that came out. A square doily that somebody gave me. So this little piece here has a butterfly from that ephemera pack. And then another metal piece from Tammy that's already frontaged. And then another pen nib. And with the paper, I did this little, like a booklet type of thing here that flips out. Natasha Scrapbook Corner bling. That's my little closure with half of a Velcro piece, and then it opens up this way and this way. I left this part as is. I didn't want to cover the metallic gold, so, but you can, you know, cover that up. Love how that looks. So that's that one. And then over here, I just made an easy side pocket here, an angled pocket. And what I did was I threw in a lot of the ephemera pieces that I had left over. And then one of these birds for added decor. So this is just an added piece for decor, but she can use everything that is here. All these are the extras. And then, of course, I'm going to, you know, give her the extra paper. And then I put some more of that trim, both of the trims that I used earlier. I layered again another butterfly on top of the paper because there is a butterfly under there. And another little arrangement with some more of the chipboard gears and metal gears and crochet doily, flowers, and the NSK sprays. And then another metallic piece saying Embrace Imperfection. So that concludes this video. It's quite long. I love the way this came out. I hope she loves it too. I think it just brings everything together. The vintage, the shabby chic, and the Steampunk all in one. So yeah, it's a little difficult to close because you gotta have to have a third hand, I think, but I just kind of, I'm not going to close it all the way. So there it is, everybody. Whoops. So hope you like it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now.